Say cheese. You know everyone wants a bright and sparkly smile, but over time, tooth decay may have you wanting to hide your pearly whites. Here today answering your questions about tooth decay as well as tooth and gum health is Dr. Harris. Let us know what kind of questions you have for the doctor. We will answer them live. You can text them to the number that is on your screen, 336-379-5775. All right, but first and foremost, let's talk about this tooth decay. So that's something that I think to myself, you know, you think about that when you're a kid because you're eating candy and stuff like that. Maybe not as much when you're an adult, but does tooth decay affect all ages?
Yes, tooth decay affects children, teens, adults, anyone that has teeth. They're capable of getting cavities if they don't do the right things.
Okay, so all of us can get that, not just the kids who eat a whole bunch of candy. What causes the tooth decay? And maybe it's not even candy.
It's not always. Sometimes, well, everyone has bacteria in their mouth. Even after you brush your teeth, even 3 to 4 minutes after, you're going to get this soft film, which is known as plaque. If we don't properly brush and floss, the bacteria that's in our mouth will actually become involved. It will become in a relationship with the sugars and carbohydrates that we get from our diets. If those things are not cleaned away properly, then cavities can form.
All right, so I think you made a really good point. If they're not cleaned away properly. So let's just go over a few things. How often should we be brushing our teeth?
A minimum of twice a day. The most important time to brush your teeth is before bed because you need to clean everything that you've had to eat and drink throughout the day. You need to remove that from your teeth before you go to sleep.
All right, so, and you would not be opposed, of course, to us bringing our toothbrush to work and doing that at lunchtime.
I think that would be a perfect time to do that, is to brush and floss your teeth after lunch. That would be perfect.
Okay. All right. So we just had a graphic up there that what are the signs of tooth decay? So let's kind of go over that.
Okay. Initially, you may see a white spot. It may appear to be a little bit whiter than the actual tooth color of the teeth adjacent or next to that. That is the beginning signs that your tooth is going through a process called demineralization. Now, with that, you can have some sensitivity to cold and hot things. You can also have pain, sharp pain, or a dull throbbing pain when you bite down. These are all the beginning signs that something is occurring that can lead to a cavity.
Okay. All right. And so as soon as we have that kind of sensitivity or pain or whatever, how long should it take us like to actually call the dentist and be like, I think I need to be seen?
If you are beginning to have pain that wakes you up at night, if you're consistently having to take over-the-counter medications such as Tylenol or Advil, these are signs that you definitely need to be seen by a dentist to have an evaluation, including x-rays and a clinical exam.
Okay, so if it's waking you up at night, you definitely need to go, okay? All right, so how can you avoid the tooth decay? Brushing for sure is up there.
Yes, as well as flossing. Flossing is something that prevents cavities from forming in between the teeth and passing to the teeth that are adjacent or beside one another. Cavities are contagious, which is where floss comes into place, and that will allow you to make sure that you're removing all the food debris in between your teeth, as well as brushing to remove the decay, or excuse me, to remove plaque on the fronts and backs of your teeth. So it's very important to brush and floss and also to maintain a very healthy diet.
All right, so let's talk about a couple of those things. When it says avoiding sugary foods and drinks, I mean, we're all going to have a soda or a piece of candy or something of that nature. Are there any like recommendations for like how we should eat it? Like, should we do the soda through a straw? Does that make any difference?
Yes, soda drinking through a straw is going to be the best because it allows the soda to actually go down the back of your throat instead of splashing over your teeth. However, soda, juices, and candies, they do contain acidic components, ingredients, so to speak, and that can weaken your tooth structure. So a piece of candy now and again in moderation is fine, but definitely trying to stay away from things like fruit snacks, gummy snacks, and even the gummy vitamins that are sold over the counter for both children and adults. You want to avoid those types of things because those are the biggest culprits that are typically seen in children and adults that have cavities.
Wow, even the gummy vitamins.
Yes.
And I
Yes,
guess that's
even the
because they're
gummy
all
vitamins.
sticky.
Correct. And the reason why they taste so good is because there's a large component of sugar contained in those vitamins that are gummy and chewy and delicious. They're not good for your teeth.
Okay, all right. And if we do have them, we probably just need to brush our teeth after we're done. Someone had told me one time beforehand, if I ate something sugary or I had caffeine or I had red wine for some reason, I should swish before I brush my teeth instead of just brushing my teeth before I go to bed.
That is correct.
So
That is absolutely correct.
talk a little bit about that. We're just swishing with water for like how long?
So after you have a soda with a straw, after you have juice, anything that has a high sugar content, the best thing to do is to swish your mouth immediately with water. You can swish for 30 seconds to a minute. What that is doing is it is removing the sugar ingredients from those things from the grooves of your teeth. And this is also allowing you to prevent having to brush immediately after, because that can actually ruin your tooth structure. If there's acid on your teeth and if you immediately go to brush your teeth, you'll actually be taking away healthy as well as possible decay from your teeth.
All right, so if you wake up in the morning like I do and you have a cup of coffee, you need to swish with water for 30 seconds before you brush your teeth and head out to work. Right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be taking your questions coming up next.